Hey, what's up everybody? This is Scorpion Sean, and this video that I am sharing now online for free was actually going to be done in the year 2019 is when we were filming this, and I was going to do like a full-on really cool production with the video about bugging out and self-defense, because there absolutely was nothing out there online that I kept looking for about what to do when you're in a bug out situation as far as self-defense, other than people always going to the gun, or just relying on regular in school martial arts skills or in a cage martial arts skills. So what do you do when you're out in the elements? And that was one of the things. Or what do you do if somebody kidnaps you or somebody stumbles upon your camp? Those were the type of things that we were working on to develop in the year 2019 before the COVID hit, before anything hit, before 2020. It was just like I had already was working on this stuff back then. But however, because of unfortunate circumstances and some issues that went on, I could not finish the production, so I had to halt and stop production altogether. We're going to make an actual video and put it up on eBay for sale, and you can imagine, and this is not even all the content that I wanted to get done, but you can even imagine of how well that would have done and how well that would have sold. Putting it out there for free is actually probably a really good thing to share it with people anyhow, people who are out there trying to learn how to defend themselves or worrying about what to do in a bad situation. For quite a few years, I've trained my students out in the wilderness. I trained them in an unnatural environment. In fact, every Saturday we would do what was called street fights. And what I would do is take all my students out of the school and make them all go out into the parking lot, and that's where they would spar, because it would be out of the air conditioning, it would be out of the nice school, out of the nice flooring, and I would take them out to the parking lot, and that's where they would spar, because I always wanted them to understand that you're not going to be in ideal conditions, and that was one of the things that kind of set up for this in 2019.
Good.
We're going to do 3 machete defenses. Machete defense number 1, typically people will grab a machete and want to come in and cut you down like this, okay? So if he's coming in, the worst part I want to do is back up because I can get cut. So what I want to do is actually go forward. It seems ludicrous, but I'm in here, I'm grabbing his hands. I'm going to do a headbutt to the crown of my head, to the bridge of his nose as I grab his hands. If you notice, my knee is already here for his groin, here into the groin. I take my foot, step behind him, and there's my leg sweep here. I can take a machete from this point here. Number 2 for machete defense, there's 2 different versions of this. With the cut. Either they're going to be cutting this way at an angle, or they'll be going to cutting wildly from the side. So it'll work for either way. When he comes in, I want to take both my hands and come up for a knife hands to both. I want to get past this point of the machete and come here. Grab and chop to his head, drive an elbow up to his chin, grab him and drive a knee either into his solar plex or into his groin, and you can continue to keep kneeing this guy to loosen him up. Take your foot, step behind his foot, keep a hold of his arm, keep a hold of his jacket or his shirt. If there's not even, or if there's hair, whatever's there, grab it and bring him down to the ground. Keep a hold of his hands. So you want to keep both your hands on top of his hand and twist, and that'll make him let go. Tap when it hurts, and it makes him let go of that machete. And from there, if he's coming from the side, it's the same thing. Even if he comes, it doesn't matter if he comes from down, from an angle this way, go ahead and angle that way, or if he comes from an angle from the side. You don't need to learn anything different from this. You just need to know this is what you need to get in past this. You don't need a whole bunch of different self-defenses at this point. You need to keep it basic. I'm carrying my bag like this on the back of my arm, so I don't have it attached with both arms in. I have it loose like this because I see trouble's coming. So I'm going to take the one arm out, never leave your backpack on completely. Don't matter if he makes a thrust, if he comes in a thrust to stab me, or if he makes a slash to stab, or just slash and cut me this way. It doesn't matter which way he does this strike here. When he goes, we're going to hit him in his arm with our book bag. We're going to step, strike the knife arm, step into a reverse elbow. So you're going to step all around the reverse elbow, swing around to behind him, grab both ends of the backpack, and jam your knee into his spine, so it'll look like this. Boom. And what you're doing is you're yanking and pull the backpack this way to hit him in the spine. Let me explain something real fast. We've done this drill a couple of times real hard with smacking with this backpack, and I tell you, this backpack only has like a little padding thing in it for right now. If it was filled up with a lot of my bug out stuff, this backpack would probably weigh about 35 pounds. And if I was to strike his arm with a 35-pound weight, or like with this book bag, it's gonna possibly knock the knife out of his hand. If it does knock the knife out of his hand, it's gonna cause him a lot of pain. It's gonna send the arm that way. Okay, so when he makes that strike, I'm gonna hit him here, step, and immediately do an elbow to his head. Bring this, wrap this around and pull it. It don't matter if you don't grab the strap. If you just grab the backpack and strike your knee into his spine, that's gonna drop him. Technique number 2 with your bug out bag. So this one is predominantly for a thrust. So where he's bringing the thrust right in. Once he comes into the thrust, you're gonna step back with the same foot that he steps in and strike straight down. Use this part of the handle on the bag. Bring it down as hard as you can onto his arm. So once he steps through, let's do it one more time. Bring it down, strike his arm, come back with a fat hand to strike him with the bag in the face. Grab his hands with your other hand, so you're going to step forward. So after you do that strike, okay, so it's down. After you come across the face here, step forward to grab his hand, push it behind him. Now you're going to step underneath his arm as you press his arm up, keep a good grip. Step out from behind. That's what's called a reverse camera lock. Take your bag. You're going to smack him in the face as you take your foot and sweep his leg off the ground. So it's all one motion like this. And that drops him. All right, so as he comes in, I step back to avoid the knife. He comes in, step back, and strike him. Make a back strike here. Grab his arm here. Step forward. Underneath. Put a reverse camera lock. Strike him, sweep him down to the ground. Bug out bag technique number 3 versus a downward strike on the knife. So I have the knife strike coming in. He's coming for that downward thrust, pretty much the throat or heart, wherever you're here. So as it's coming down, so as he's coming around and come down, I'm going to fling this forward. I'm going to push my bag forward, so that way it'll take the blunt of the knife coming into me. I'm going to take this foot, kick him in his kneecap, grab his hand and press to push the knife this way, which is more facing towards him. Keep it in here. Don't press it into yourself, but let the bag take the blunt of the knife, bring his hand and trap it. So you're pressing with both hands to trap, keep that hand in there. Step towards him this way, twisting. Once you shrug and throw him over your shoulder and drop him, then take your foot, stomp his wrist, stomp him, and then take the knife out.
That one hurt a little bit.
Sorry. Okay, once again, here you come through, pull this in here to trap to get the knife here, kick him in his knee, grab, step around, throw him over the shoulder for a shoulder toss, and stomp his wrist, keep stomping, and you can take the knife away from there. Okay, technique number 4, quick, simple, easy one. You're going to need to know how to do kicking. You learn how to do a turning back side kick. If you don't know how, go to a private school and learn, or watch my videos. So when he makes the slash coming at the throat, he wants to cut me across the throat here. He's committed to come there. So once he goes there, I'm going to leave the backpack here for the block. I'm using the bag, so let's turn this way a little bit. I'm using the bag as the block. Also, as he comes through with that, if he's going to continue with the slash, keep coming through with the slash. See how it's going to go into the bag? That's what I'm going to do with my turning back and smack him in the face with the bag. So let's take a look at it from this side over here. When he comes through, here, kick, smack. So once again, I step to meet his knife with my bag here, tuck him a little. Drive your turning back kick up into him, and then swing your bag as you step around and hit him in the face here. And if he is still up, let's cover that real quick. So if I'm going here, boom, and I kick, and I smack. And if this guy is still up, I'm just going to bring my arm back across him this way and sweep the deadbeat down. Or just kick him in the knee as you come around back up real fast. So let's say he's up. So a block here, turning back kick, strike here, kick him in his knee right there. You're going to drop him all day long. I just step right on top of his kneecap. That's it. Is he okay?
Sure.
Does that hurt?
But
Yeah.
like I could feel it.
Yeah, I think you went with it.
Go with it.
So one more time, we'll do this one more time. So you slash it, I block with the bag, turning back kick, smack him in the face with the bag. If he's still there, I kick to the inside of his knee, that drops him down to the ground. Okay, technique number 4, we're going to revisit it. Technique number 2. The slash is coming at your throat. This is where he wants to cut and kill me. I'm going to use the bag and step into the knife with the bag. I'm going to do a turning back kick, step around, smack him in the face in the bag. As I step through here, I want to do a side cut kick to the inside of his knee. I step on that, that's going to drop him and push him down to the ground. Really good. So you step through, slash, boom, kick, smack, kick, and drop it there. Technique number 5. As this genius said, what if somebody comes with a reverse stab? In other words, they're going to come this way with the thrust. So we didn't really cover this type of strike. So as they are, when the bag in front of you, use it as your shield again. Let the knife go in there. Grab and press. So I've got one hand holding the bag, the other hand's going to grab here to press the knife, then I'm going to grab and trap with the other hand. I want to keep this all trapped and nice and secure. Keep the knife trapped here. I'm going to step in front of him, push, twist, take him down here, put my knee into his ribs. Then, let me move the bag so you guys can see. Do you see where his hand is at? I'm going to press that straight down, but that lets me take away the knife. I can literally put my finger on here and hold his hand down. Okay, too quick, and his wrists are tied. So the attacker is here, of course we tied him up, maybe asking for water or whatever. You come in, means elbow strike up, elbow in, and smash with a baseball swing. Make sure your fingers are clasped the whole time. Because if your hands are like this when they bound you, that's fine. But when it's time to strike and attack, clasp your hands together, gives you more stability on those strikes. The next one is untying his hands. So as I'm tying his hands, as I'm tying him up here, he's going to step in and kick to that knee there, elbow is right across his face, instep with the knee, and then stomp the groin. Oh, Jesus. Okay, 2 more. These ones for your hands, tied behind your back. So if my hands come behind my back, and the attacker's in front of me, I want to kick him in his groin, kick him in his chin, and then side kick to get out. So you're going to have to really work on your kicking. He's got his hands on his back on the attacker. He's going to grab you with a shoulder strike and headbutt, but you're not going to be able to keep very well. His headbutt's there. He's going to kick the inside of my knee there, kick the other leg, and then sweep my leg out underneath me, exposing my. So if I'm sitting and the attacker's coming in at me, I want to kick the base of his foot out with the side of my blade of my foot, kick him up into the solar plex, or kick him in the face. Take this leg, hook it behind his leg here, hook the front of his heel here. That does a leg sweep that drops him down. Bring your leg all the way over and smash his head into the ground. Then just roll and get up and get out of there. There we go. So he's sitting down. I'm the attacker, I'm the kidnapper, whatever. I'm coming over to come grab him. So just stay there, don't go nowhere. They usually do this to pick you up or slap you around or something. So if I'm coming over to grab him here, boom, that's it, and roll. This one's for a straight in thrust. This is thrust, I call it number 8. So we're going to step to the outside, make the strike, step to the outside, this hand goes here, striking the arm here. The radial nerve come across, strike him in the throat. So just 1, 2, bring your arm around, grab, and grab this, keep this behind your armpit, grab onto the stick, you grab his arms. Now, here's what we look like here. See, I have complete control of him, because once I get this stick in here and I got his arm, he can't do nothing. He's stuck. He's literally stuck here. So this is where we're gonna go. Now, let's talk about a scenario if he still holds a knife in his hand. Okay, so let's say he goes to thrust, he goes to stab me, I strike him, he still got that knife, he wants to come and get me again with that knife. Once I hit the arm, if you don't use that knife, I hit him in his throat here, he's gonna feel some pain. So his mind's gonna be there, he's gonna wanna come back with that knife, but I'm not gonna give him a chance. So let's say he still has a knife in his hand. From here, once I got that arm, and I got him in this lock, all I gotta do is say, hey, drop it. Because once you pull, he ain't gonna wanna hold it no more. Take your other foot, take your knee that's behind him, because you got one knee behind him. Take your other foot and step forward, short step forward, and you pull him onto his down front back breaker. Release that stick out from your club, off from your armpit, roll it around, strike him into the bridge of the nose, and that brings him down to the ground. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to shank him. Don't move. Here's what I'm going for. I'm either going for this, to shank him here, or I'm going to stab him in the throat coming to the side here. Okay, either one of these wounds are fatal wounds. So you're going here to make the pull out the knife out of his hand. Follow through with the strike here, wrap that around his neck, come around here so that you got him in a figure four lock this way here. Push that through there, that's what you get your lock. Bring it underneath, put it behind your arm, pull down on your hand, pull that down to this trap. That's what gets your lock there. You take him down to the ground, you're gonna take this foot and step back. That'll bring him down, let him roll over, force him to roll over, bring that stick back across his throat, push down on his throat. So that's pretty much it. And like I said, this is absolutely the unfinished product. This is just practice that we are working on these techniques. We were going to actually do those, like I said, in the woods, and we were going to do them in some abandoned buildings and stuff to kind of give you a feel, and to be dressed in regular like bug out gear with bug out clothes on, things like survival nature of things that you would have on you. There was other stuff that we were going to do too, other techniques like stuff with rope and using that as your defense. Things just, we were going to show how to use, like when you seen the one where I was just doing with the stick, we were going to show that that would be actually a stick you would pick up off the ground to use against somebody trying to stab you with a knife. So of course, there's going to be a lot of people out there with K-bars and stuff like that. A lot of people always have a knife in their bug out kits. So that was the type of stuff of what we were working on and what we were going to do. It just did not get finished. Like I said, for unfortunate circumstances. So that's pretty much it, guys. I'm not going to be able to finish this. There was a lot of stuff that we wanted to do. There was some of the techniques actually we went and revisited, and we were changing them slightly, changing things about them and adding other alternative versions. So the video itself would have been at least a good solid hour and a half video, an instructional video, breaking everything down, breaking every move down, showing different angles and showing different possibilities of what to do in a bad situation. Even like if you're in your sleeping bag, we had other stuff too. Like if you're somewhere out in the woods and you're hiding out and you're in a sleeping bag, you know, we had techniques for that too. Just different things, different scenarios that people have not demonstrated yet on video. And that was pretty much what we were gonna do for the bug out self-defense that was brought to you from the Scorpion School of Martial Arts. And I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you expand your mind a little bit. And yeah, feel free to work on these techniques for yourself. It's always good to understand that in a bad situation. I mean, you look, we're in 2021 now. Nobody predicted that 2020 was going to be so bad. And it's just the irony of in 2019, I was getting a video prepared for if the SHTF happened. And then in the year 2020, because it became so bad and things are so chaotic, that it became very popular for people to become preppers. Look it up. Before 2020, the people who were preppers were laughed at, and then during 2020, it became a super popular thing. And this video would have did really, really well and probably would have sold a ton, and it would have been really helpful to a lot of people. But anyhow, I hope you enjoy the video, and yes, practice, practice, practice.